All right, guys, so I finally have all the stats from GoFest Chicago. So let's see how I did. So I started with 82 million XP about, and I ended with 100 million. So in total, I gained 18 million XP, which is absolutely an insane amount. I started with 45,000 Pokemon caught, and by the end, I caught 51,000 about. So I caught 5,500 Pokemon. Pokestops visit, I started with 2,000 and I ended with 23,000. So I visited about 2,500. For distance walked, I started with around 4,000 and I ended with around 4,000. Not a lot of walking, although it was around 100 kilometers. So that's something. Stardust, I started with 500,000. By the end, I had almost 2 million. So I gained a total of 1.5 million. For Mewtwo candies, I started with 13 and ended with 3,540, which is absolutely insane. I gained a total of 3,527. Meanwhile, the XLs, I started with 8 and ended with 1,644, net gaining me 1,636. But for the Mewtwo Mega Energies, you obviously only did one raid unless you were a YouTuber that got the park experience every day. But so I only have 300 of each. So net gain at 300. For the Zapdos regular candy, I started with 107. And then I ended with 711. So 711. So that was a net gain of 604. While the XLs, I started with 33 and ended with 334. So 301 increase. For Kyogre, I started with 112. Ended with 1,488, so 1,376 gained. Meanwhile, for the XXL, or for the XL candies, I started with 159, ended with 829, so 670. And for the Primal Energy, I started with 180 and ended with 3,650, that getting me 3,470, which is absolutely insane. Meanwhile, for Groudon, I got 56 candies before, and I ended with 2,341. So that's a net gain of 2,285. I obviously did more Groudon raids than Kyogre because I got the Shadow Shiny Kyogre with the background, but not the Groudon. And then Groudon XLs, I started with 31, ended with 988, so 957, which is crazy. And as for the Primal Energy, I started with 500, ended with 2,730, and that's after I spent 5,000 to max out my Shundo. So I actually ended with... Unfortunately, that took a little bit longer than expected, so I will post the rest of the updates in the description of the video.